Hey everybody, it's Innovision. By June of this year, we'll start seeing Legion Go 2 models that come with SteamOS pre-installed. While SteamOS runs beautifully on the Legion Go 2 hardware, there's still a few things that aren't working, like the power button and the brightness slider. I've had several folks in the community ask if there's a workaround to get the brightness slider working. In today's video, I'll be sharing a Decky loader plugin that'll get your brightness slider working, and I'll show you a step-by-step guide on how to get it installed. It's important to note that this plugin for the brightness slider works on all models of the Legion Go 2, as well as all Linux-based gaming handheld distros. So that means that you can use this under SteamOS, CachyOS, and Bazzite. For folks who are interested in the future of Decky loader plugins for the Legion Go devices, be sure to stick around for the end of the video where we're gonna have a quick discussion about that. Stick around, because you don't wanna miss any of it. As we get started, I'd like to share a few community updates, and this one specifically is a public service announcement. If you are running SteamOS on your Legion Go hardware, and likely your ROG Ally hardware, for the time being, I would avoid using the main update channel. I've had several viewers bring to my attention that when they switched from stable to main, they started having issues with device instability, and in some cases even messed up their dual boot setup. It's also worth noting for our Windows users out there that Microsoft has released a Windows update that updates the secure boot keys. And this is also causing problems on non-dual boot setups. I would like to send a very special thank you to one of our supporters of the community and subscriber, Edok, also known as Ode. He brought this plugin to my attention, and as much as I try to stay up to date on things, I can't catch it all. I work full time, I have a family. It's because of engagement like this in the community, I'm able to talk about these topics. I'm but one person, but as a community, we're so much greater than that. I'd also like to send a very special thank you to Rubder for putting a tip in my tip jar. Thank you, it's so generous. He tipped me for the video on the Legion Go custom fan controls, especially for the Legion Go utils. And one of the features he was asking about, could we have a way to automatically update the dynamic kernel module support anytime the Linux kernel changes with SteamOS updates? That's a little bit tricky, but I am investigating methods for semi-automatic fashion. That way you won't have to go through the trouble of setting it up each time. It's going to take me some time, but I am investigating it. I'd also like to thank all of our channel members. Thank you, Mother of Genius 53, JC Denton, Ashmo 8, Snooks 1010, and our latest member, Lord Oxide. He recently picked up the Legion Go S with the Z1 Extreme APU, and let's give him a warm welcome. I'm wishing him many happy gaming sessions. I'll be providing links in the description of the video for the GitHub repository we're using. The steps will be as follows. We're going to install Decky Loader as our plugin manager. Then we're going to install Decky plugin fix Legion Go 2 brightness CachyOS. This plugin for the brightness slider works on all models of the Legion Go 2. You can use this under SteamOS, CachyOS, and Bazzite. All right, let's get started. So a couple things as we get started here. I just want to show that we are on the latest and greatest SteamOS in terms of updates. So here under system, we're on main, and we're on the Steam Deck beta client. And if we take a look at the latest patch notes, we're on the update from January 26th. So this is the latest and greatest. And if we navigate over here to our brightness slider, you can see here, it takes no effect. So the first thing we're going to want to do is navigate over to the desktop environment. We'll go to switch to desktop. If you take a look at desktop here, our brightness slider works perfectly fine. So we know that as far as hardware is concerned, the device is fully working. It's just something is missing, like a mapping in the game mode. And this has to do likely with the fact that we don't see the HDR toggle there. We need a way of rendering standard dynamic range content on a high dynamic range display. And in order to do this, we're going to take advantage of a Decky Loader plugin. We need to make sure that we've got Decky Loader as a plugin manager already installed and configured correctly. So the first thing we're going to want to do is go into System and then Console. If you haven't set up your password already, we're going to want to type in PASSWD and hit enter. And so in my case, I've already set up a password here, so I'm not going to set it again. But if it's your first time setting this up, it'll say enter new password. And as you're typing your password, you won't see any characters updating on the display. This is perfectly normal. You'll just enter your password twice and then you're all set. Once you've typed in your password, the next thing we're going to want to do is open Firefox. When we're in Firefox, we'll want to search for Decky Loader. And we want the Decky.xyz. this Decky Loader Steam Deck Homebrew. So you'll go over here and click download. And once it's downloaded, we can go ahead and open our file browser and we'll double click on this. And you'll either go to the execute or launch option. If you're on main, you'll see launch. If you're on Steam Deck stable, then you'll see the word execute here more than likely. So you'll click launch and it's gonna say, okay, do you wanna install Decky Loader? Yes. And the first thing it's gonna do is ask you for the password we just set up. You'll type in your password. And so I have a few options here because I already have Decky Loader installed. But if you don't have it installed, instead of this topmost option saying update to latest release, it'll say install latest release or install latest pre-release. Those will be your two options. In my case, I'm testing stuff on main, so I'm fluctuating between both of these options. But in most cases, you're gonna wanna just pick this install latest release, and then you'll click OK. And our Decky Loader has finished installing, so we'll just click OK. We can go ahead and close out of this. We can actually close our terminal now. You don't need it anymore. And the next thing we're going to want to do is navigate over to this Decky plugin fix Legion Go 2 brightness CachyOS. While it says CachyOS, this actually works on SteamOS, CachyOS, and Bazzite OS. I'll have a link to this repository in the description of this video. We're going to navigate down here to releases. We're going to click on that. And then we're going to download this Legion Go 2 brightness.zip. And we can go ahead and close out of this and we can return to gaming mode. Once you're in gaming mode, we're going to click on this sidebar here. If you've never seen Decky Loader before or you're not familiar with it, it's this little plugin looking icon down here. So we'll click on that. And we're going to go to this little cog option here, the settings. And we're going to go under all the way down to the bottom to enable developer mode. So it's down here under the general options, developer mode. We'll click on that. It opens up on the left sidebar here, a developer option. So we'll click into there. And what we're going to want to do is install from our zip file. That's the thing we just downloaded from the brightness slider repository. So we'll go to browse, and then we're going to go to downloads, and here it is, Legion Go 2 brightness.zip. It's asking, are we sure we want to install it? Yes, we do. And so now if we go to check out our plugins here, I have a couple other plugins here like the Legion Go remapper and lossless scaling, but this is the one of interest here, this Legion Go 2 brightness fix CachyOS. And so by default, it's set to 40. We can scroll it down. We can go all the way up to 100 now. One thing you'll notice though, is it still doesn't work here using the native slider. And so that's a small price to pay to have this plugin to be able to control the brightness ourselves. And I like mine to sit around 80. One thing that I think is kind of neat here is we've got the Legion Go remapper, which is kind of a one-stop shop for Legion Go related functionality like our controller RGB lighting, our power LED, and even custom fan curves can be enabled using this tool. How many of you out there would be interested in seeing our brightness slider under the Legion Go remapper? One thing to keep in mind is that Valve's going to be officially supporting the Legion Go 2 come June. And so while we might have this brightness slider here, I'll have to gauge whether it's worth the effort to add it in here until then, or is everybody comfortable with having a couple plugins until then? Hit me up in the comments section, let me know what your thoughts are. But this is very neat. Now I feel like my device is complete. I'm so happy we have the ability to control the brightness now on our Legion Go 2. So I've been studying the code in the plugin here, and it's actually very straightforward. One of the things I'm looking into is being able to incorporate a brightness slider into the Legion Go remapper. So I would need one less plugin that I have to install whenever I get things up and running. Plus it's nice to have everything in one unified UI. Kind of just brainstorming here the future of plugins. It'd be really cool if we can add enable dynamic kernel module support to the Legion Go remapper, so you don't have to go into your terminal, you don't have to run the Python script, you don't have to download Legion Go utils. Now the Legion Go remapper is based on an older version of the Decky loader API. It's going to be time consuming to port it. So one thing I'm even considering is just making my own from scratch. I don't spend a lot of my time working on front end development. I actually work a lot more on low level programming like C++ and things that require hardware acceleration like GPU programming. But it'd be interesting to learn some of this front end stuff and help the community out. If this is something that you find interesting, drop a comment, let me know, hype the video, support the community, and I'll strongly consider doing something like this. If there are any topics out there you all would like to see, be sure to hit me up in the comments section. Your ideas help the channel continue to grow, and your discussion about these ideas gives me visibility into the topics everyone finds interesting. It's going to allow the channel and community to keep growing and grow its reach. Until next time, I'd like to thank you all for joining us here today. Be sure to hit the like button on the video. Be sure to subscribe. That way you don't miss all the amazing toys and gaming tips we've got coming down the pipeline. If you're enjoying my how-to guides and handheld related content, be sure to like the video and subscribe. That way you get that notification as soon as a new video comes out.